reliable sources that you like to keep connected with?
So I agree with you. I think cdc.gov is a great source. I also use Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic.
Okay. And then we want to avoid, which you tell me to do this even in, all 365 out of the year. Avoid drama-loving friends, and be careful of gossipy text chains with poor information.
That people are so anxious that they're going to spew it all over others. And like the virus, you don't want to be around someone who's coughing or sneezing. You also don't want to be around someone who's coughing or sneezing toxic information.
Yep. Makes total sense. And so talking about, coughing and sneezing, let's talk about the eye. Let's talk about immune boosters. So we talked yesterday about watching comedies instead of renting Contagion right now. Laughing is a good way to immune boost. What are some other immune supporters?
So you want to get your white blood cells. Those are really the ones that fight the war for you. You want to get them working for you. Vitamin D helps, and you can get that from the sun. Some people also take a supplement. I take a supplement every day. Onions, mushrooms, garlic, and colorful fruits and vegetables all help.
Yep. Okay. And we also talked about if you're somewhere in a part of the world where it's not as sunny, like right now in LA or Nashville, where I'm from, that's been hit with some pretty bad weather. We talked about exercise as an immune booster. So that'll get us to G, which was getting active. And it's easy to feel stuck since, some of us aren't leaving our places, but it doesn't take a lot of space to exercise. And you told me one time when I said that I was working a lot and that I didn't have time to exercise, you said you don't have time to not exercise because I will get sick or be more run down or not have as much energy if I'm not exercising. So it's a good time since we'll have a lot of extra time. None of us really had that excuse. So talk to us about exercising and how that immune boosts as well.
It's the universal treatment. Exercise helps all of the risk factors. And you and I talked about how just 10 minutes can help decrease your worry and boost your mood. So get your heart rate up if you can, and also do coordination exercises. Because that'll activate a very important part of your brain called the cerebellum, which then activates everything else.
And some of the fans are writing now that they're unable to leave their homes, so they're feeling like they can't go to gyms. But let's talk about some of the things that you can do at home, like planks on the floor, push-ups, jumps. The jumps are something if you can't go outside and take a run or get on a treadmill, something that could boost your heart rate.
You probably don't want to be going to public gyms now.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So the more you can do at home, and there are videos online where you can just use a chair, and just getting up and down works big groups of muscles. Planks are amazing. My 90-year-old dad can beat me in a plank. It's so irritating. But he will literally go for 6 minutes just to beat me. He's that stubborn. And so having challenges with some of your friends is great. Now, it's always important, don't hurt yourself.
Yep.
If something hurts, don't do it. But the more exercise, the happier you're going to be. And it strengthens your white blood cells, your immune system.
Yep, and laughing and exercising at the same time. So I will probably have a plank competition with one of my siblings today. We're all stuck in here together, and so that will that will make us all laugh. And so we're talking about getting healthy, but let's also talk about healthy anxiety. And this is something, again, this is not new with the virus. This is something you've always wanted me to apply, which is having healthy worry. Don't worry, be happy people are the ones that will infect others and end up, hurting the vulnerable. by saying, I'm young, this doesn't affect me. So we want healthy worry. Can we talk about healthy worry?
So I have always been driven and worked hard, and I have an older brother who's totally a don't worry, be happy person, leaves work at 3 o'clock, goes and plays golf. And I sort of always wanted to be like him until I read the research that said, so they did the biggest longevity study ever. They did it over 90 years, and they found that don't worry, be happy people died the earliest from accidents and preventable illnesses. So I don't want you to have too much anxiety. That's bad for you. But you need some that helps you wash your hands appropriately, not obsessively,
Yeah.
to socially isolate, but not, as we talked about, totally isolate. I want you to be concerned so you do the right things. The people who have low frontal lobe function, they often don't worry enough, and it gets them into a lot of trouble in their life.
So what are things that would lower frontal lobe? And what are things that boost?
So exercise boosts frontal lobe function.
Mm-hmm.
The two most important words in the English language are then what.
Mm-hmm.
If I say this, then what happens? If I do this, then what happens? It's eating right, sleep, exercise, knowing what you want. So you and I talk about that. So what do you want? And does your behavior get you what you want? The things that lower frontal lobe function, obsessive worry, not sleeping, alcohol, marijuana, terrible food, those are things that lower frontal lobe function. And when you lower frontal lobe function, you start making bad decisions. And with bad decisions, your health is not as good, your money's not as good, your relationships are not as good.
Yes. So let's talk about thoughts and attention, and how that determines how you feel, and toxins.
So I love what you said. Where you bring your attention determines how you feel. So I know I can get you to cry in like 3 minutes. I just ask you to think about all the things you've lost, all the times you've been embarrassed, and it's like, no, we're not going to do that. I could also make you really happy by thinking of happy memories. And because where I bring my attention to all the incredible stories of heroes. Now, I read a story last night about a woman. She just goes to the elderly and goes, I'm going to go to the store for you. How can I do that so you don't have to be exposed and still get what you need? I love that. Where you bring your focus, your attention will determine how you.
And then some of the toxins will affect that also. That will affect our attention.